What's up, guys? Welcome back to One Shot, the podcast where we talk things FPS as well as gaming news in general. As always, it's your boy CM Boom, and I have with me the amazing Mike Shaky. I know that we missed last week. That was mainly due to your boy. It was my fault. It was very much my fault. I got sick last weekend. Still got a little bit of the remnants of it here. So if you hear me coughing a little bit throughout this episode, I'm sorry. I'm trying. But yeah, so we're back this week. And yeah, we're going to get on with it. How are you doing, Mike? I know, like I said, I was bad this past weekend.
You
But
know, I'm feeling great. I'm probably like 98% healthy right now. And
98%.
I don't have a cough. I don't have a sickness going on, so I'm feeling good.
All right, all right. This guy poking fun. But in all seriousness, we are. We're doing all right. We're doing all right. Um, this week we have a very good topic that I would like to think is a pretty something that's very relevant to us and relevant to a lot of people. We're talking ranking systems this week, Mike.
Yeah, and this is like just a hot topic in general with
It
like
is.
ranked like across the board has been for
Yes,
years. Like
sir.
it's just a thing. So
Yes, sir. We are talking ranking systems. Obviously, if you guys have been following, we've been streaming pretty much 3 days out of the week. Marvel Rivals ranked, and good lord, I know this is coming out on a Sunday, Sunday night, Monday morning. But if you were there for that Thursday stream this past week, I was going through it. I was going through it. I had a little bit of a crash out, slightly. It was not.
was any of that crash out like turned into clips and posted?
Uh it. I don't know if it
Or
will or
will
not.
it? Or will it
I don't know.
rather?
I don't know if it will or not. I am not a very, let's say,
I think we need to immortalize those crash
I
outs for you.
I'm not a very gracious or
Yeah.
like when I crash out, it's not very funny. It's usually kind of just like maybe stop
Well,
doing
I
that.
think we need to immortalize those crash outs, and then you can plug even more stuff.
Maybe we will see, but yeah. So I mean, let's get kind of right into it. Ranking systems. We are both very experienced with ranking systems. We've played a lot of Marvel. We've had some experience with Valorant, Call of
I've
Duty,
had a lot of experience with Valorant.
uh,
CSGO,
CS:GO. I've not had much. I don't think I've never actually played CS:GO,
CS,
ironically.
Val,
Uh,
Rivals, CODs,
Spectre Divide.
Spectre,
Uh,
League,
yeah,
Overwatch.
yeah,
Uh, that's all I can think of off the top of my head that I've
yeah.
played their ranked system.
I'm
But
trying to
yeah.
think as well. Oh, Halo. I played Halo. Halo's ranking
Oh
system.
yeah. I've only
Yeah, only
Infinite
Infinite,
Halo that
Infinite,
I've
because
played.
it's a
Okay.
different system than Halo's
It used
past.
to be or something? Okay.
I think
I
it's
did not
different.
know that.
I think so. Don't quote me in the comments. Don't come from my head, but I'm pretty sure the Infinite is different than how Halo's is used to be. Don't listen. I'm not versed in Halo. I come from a COD background. You can hate me later. Um, but yeah, so those are the few kind of systems that we've been, just to name a few, used to playing, and each system kind of has its own feel, baseline features, and kind of nuances that make it unique or try to make it unique. And so throughout all these ranking systems, there are, at least in my opinion, I feel there are a lot of baseline features that need to be with a ranking system. Um, and when they're not present, it makes playing these games very difficult sometimes and can be very frustrating. So, I mean, I know even few my biggest baseline feature that I always want to be there is that if a teammate leaves the match, your team, if you lose, you shouldn't lose any SR.
Yeah. I was playing offline, I want to say yesterday or Wednesday. And I had back-to-back games where it was domination, someone left after the first map, or it was uh, a push map and they left after our attack.
Yeah, that's annoying.
And that game ended up going to OT and we lost. But
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
That needs to be, at least if they come back, sure, like take the normal percent away of whatever. But
Yeah.
like if they're gone the whole time,
Yeah.
that's obviously unfair. You're down a player.
Yeah.
You don't have to take nothing away. You
Right.
can just take half of what you normally would take away. If you
I
really
still feel
still
like it
want to
needs to be
take
0.
people away, like yes, we are of the people that are like, no, if our fourth person, our fifth person, whatever, however many people are in the game, leave, don't take anything from me.
Yeah.
Just it's a wash at that point.
Yeah. Because I mean,
But like if you really want to like appeal to like everybody and yourself of like the ranking system, just take like half, take a quarter away than you normally would.
I think, and like our opinion of like, hey, no, don't take anything away, really comes from X Defiant, because that game
Yeah.
had it had no punishment for players that were leaving matches,
Mm-hmm.
and it did like it they call it a discounted SR amount, but it was a pretty hefty penalty,
Well, it
and
was discounted because X Defiant was 4 people, and
yeah,
it was if one person left, you'd get like half
yeah,
ish. I don't know, remember the exact number. And if 2 people left, then you lost to nothing.
right, which is, in my opinion, that was a slap in the face to the community, because it's like that's telling people, hey, we still think a 3v4 is winnable in a game like X Defiant, which is a Call of Duty
It is
game. It is.
possible, but you gotta like
I don't
sweat,
think so.
sweat.
I think as soon as it's 3v4, because like you meant, like you try playing 3v4 S&D, you're screwed.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're completely screwed.
Well, that's something too. X Defiant, when it first had their rank system, someone would leave like in the first minute, and the game would go on.
Yeah,
Marvel Rivals, someone leaves in the first minute,
game
games
cancels.
get kicks out. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, that is another baseline feature that I feel like is should be there, is matches not starting if they're not full. I mean,
Yeah.
that's something that, I mean, even Call of Duty gets right, that hey, if the match isn't populated, the game won't start, or even if someone leaves within the first minute, game ends. Game ends, everybody goes back to the lobby, nobody loses anything, that person gets penalized, requeue. I think that's something that it's definitely a baseline feature that needs to be there, and I think that falls kind of into player protection, like talking about the whole, protecting players who are actually completing matches versus the players leaving matches, and as well as matches not starting, so you're not automatically launching into
Yeah.
a unfair advantage.
That's something I kind of applaud Valorant for. I don't remember how well it is in CS, but like obviously you can Alt F4 in every game.
Yeah.
But like if I hit escape and then hit leave game, there's an additional pop-up. Hey, you were ruining the ranked system for everyone else you're playing with. You will be penalized if you leave, and then they have to hit leave again.
Yeah, kind of like that extra step of like, are you really sure? You
Yeah.
really sure you want to do this? Okay.
And
You're gonna be
then and
punished
it's
for it.
very intentional too, so you can see like yes, this player actually 100% left the game rather than like oh they lagged out or
Right.
like
Yeah.
outside circumstances.
Mhm. Yeah. I mean, outside circumstances 100% do happen. 'Cause I mean, I've had it a couple times in playing ranked. Someone left, but they ended up being, their PC crashed. They came back and we ended up winning. So it was like, I was kind of mad at
Yeah.
first, but it's like we ended up winning. So it was like, okay, cool. All right, I won't be completely mad at this guy because he did just end up lagging out and he came back and helped us win. So, but I mean, yeah, in terms of base features, I feel that stuff's pretty basic. As say, games should start when they're full. Uh,
Mhm.
you know, SR protection for players who actually finish the match if somebody leaves, and then I guess the big one too is anti cheat, right? Like
We touched on this last week. I think we kind of beat the horse to
Yeah.
death there.
we did good
So-
anti cheat. It just needs to be present. And
Yeah.
that's all. Good anti cheat.
So if you want to hear us yap about anti
Yeah,
cheats,
go
go
watch
back
the
to last
last
episode.
episode. My there was some stuff thrown.
Oh yeah. I had a little fit there.
A little bit.
But what I will say needs to be a thing is kind of what Rivals has, but not quite. The Rivals has the Chrono Shield.
Mm-hmm.
After 3 losses, your fourth loss will be a Protect.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it was X Defiant that did it the best, if I remember correctly. And it was as soon as you rank up to the next rank, so you go Gold 1, Gold 2, if you lose your game following a rank up, you don't lose anything.
I can't
So you're not
remember.
immediately back
Back
down.
down. I know COD does that too. COD when you also has COD has a different feature now too, where your first loss of the day every 24 hours is SR protected. But then also
Oh, that's
too,
nice.
once you hit the next division, like once you go from Silver 3 to Gold 1, you have 3 uh protections. And I think those are loss protections now. They used to just be you had demotion protection for your next 3 games, whether win or lose, that would tick down. But I think it became no, your next 3 losses are completely protected. So
So even if I'm going Gold 1 all the way to Gold 3 on a hot streak, Gold 3 I lose 3, I still get it?
yeah, I think so. I think so.
Wow, look at COD go. Good job,
I
COD.
think
Good
so.
job,
I think that's
COD.
how it works. I mean, usually when I rank up, I end up using all 3 of
Good
those
job,
right away.
COD.
But I haven't played. I mean, I played a couple of these
I
past couple of weeks.
haven't played
Black Ops 6 at all.
the
Don't worry, you're not
last
mentioning. You're not
2 games.
MW3. I would have said you probably would have been fun to play if we had played MW3 together. I think you would have had a lot of fun just because the maps they added late in the game were
Yeah.
really really good. But Black Ops
The
6,
last
you're
one I remember
not missing
playing
much.
was Modern Warfare
Yeah, that was
2
really bad.
remastered, or not
The
remastered,
new
whatever, the
MW22.
remake,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That game actually introduced the modern system that COD has now, and it's probably one of the better ones that it's had. But that game itself was kind of terrible and kind of booty
Yeah.
cheeks. It's in my opinion, that's the worst competitive Call of Duty of all time. But I mean, that
Modern
kind of
Warfare 2, the remake?
yeah, MW2 2022, worst competitive Call of Duty of all time. Terrible,
Huh.
so
Okay.
bad, so bad.
I didn't think it was that bad, but
Oh no, it was
I
bad.
just went back to my old S&D kid days, and I was just running S&D
I
shells.
mean, I
So
guess yeah, that's fair, but that game had such a quick time to kill. It was kind of like
yeah,
you could just sit there with a scar and iron and pop a 2 piece.
that's
But
that's generally what I did.
gosh darn it, Mike. I mean, that was S&D.
Hey,
You're just holding corners, but
if there's a problem in a game and it's not being fixed, I'm going to abuse
that's a
that
fair
problem
point.
for my benefit.
But COD did kind of with that modern system, which kind of transition to the next kind of point here. Call of Duty because its previous system in Vanguard, you had, and I think all the preceding games, you had placement matches where you had to play whatever it was. I think it was like 5 matches, and then based on your performance and win loss record, you would be placed in a rank, and then you'd rank up from there. COD MW2 2022 made it so everybody started in bronze and you had to win out. Now, a lot of games have either or, where you have placement matches, or like Marvel has you start at the bottom and then you climb out, and whereas like Valorant has placement matches where you get to debut at a rank and then climb from there. I'm curious to how do you feel about the placement matches versus climbing?
I
From the
don't
bottom.
know if having 5 to 10 games as a placement could be a true valid placement.
I can kind of agree with that too.
Because I can pop off in those 5 to 10 games, win them all, and not be placed in like the top 0.5% of the ranks, or I can lose them all and just be square one,
Right.
bronze one, whatever it is.
I think
So it's just the placements are beneficial to get that little jump start that people are looking for, but you're stuck to the wolves, or you're thrown to the wolves because you don't know who you're going to be playing with, if they're going to be calming, or if they're going to be actually good.
mhm. I think for me, the placement versus starting at the bottom varies game to game, and I think it
Mm-hmm.
depends on the actual ranking system itself. Like Call of Duty, I think it's fine. where it's like no, everybody starts in bronze, then you can slowly climb out because the way they do their SR distribution at the bottom ranks versus the higher ranks is a lot better. Where it's like the lower
Mhm.
ranks, you're earning a lot more SR, so it's like you end up getting like if you win in bronze one, you're getting like probably 4 to 5 games worth of SR, like when you would get to like the higher ranks, like plat or diamond. So it's like you're really kind of getting out of bronze and silver early if you're a good player that knows how to win. And then COD also has COD's a different game where it's like you can kind of make up for your teammates because it's like if I'm just good for 2 kills every single life, I can make up for the guy who's only getting a kill every other life or so much.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, then too, with like the COD system they have right now, where you get more in the bottom, the most of the rank disparity is towards that middle rank.
yeah,
And then like rivals, I don't know how their rank disparity goes, but every time you rank up, it'll be like, oh, you're better than X
how many
percent of
percentage?
the.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And I'm gold one, plat one, kind of that barrier currently.
right,
And if I remember correctly, last time I saw it, I was like better than 70%
yeah.
ranked people.
I think that
So
actually
it's like I don't get the rank disparity in Marvel Rivals quite
that
yet.
one, yeah, I think Marvel Rivals is a little kind of early because I think it's accounting for that percentage is also even skewed in of itself because I think that accounts for literally
People that haven't even
every
played
yeah
ranked.
have not
Yeah.
played ranked at all. So it'd be nice if they could separate that number, but again, early, very early iteration of the rank system that
Hmm.
we're gonna end up seeing here, and something with Marvels is its values between each rank are static. It's 100 SR per rank, and they're static. They don't expand or kind of decrease. And technically, these values could be whatever they want because it doesn't really
Yeah.
matter. It's like because technically the 100 in Marvel Rivals could be the exact same progression, like time and values as COD. They're just labeled different, but that
But
is
that's something too, from what I remember in COD, it was like bronze was 100 to 500, and
yeah,
then it was silver was 5 to 1,000 or something like
something
that.
like that. Yeah, but
Yeah. So it's like it's not just, oh, get 100 SR, you'll rank up.
right.
It's these this bracket of players
Yeah,
is this number.
yeah. So I mean, and that is something that I do like about Rivals system is the static numbers because it's very easy to
To follow.
track your
Yeah.
personal SR because then the values for winning end up being kind of the same. And you kind of end up being able to gauge, oh, I'm okay, I won, I'm gonna get anywhere from like whatever the number is, like I think it's like what's like 37 to like 50 something, depending on your performance and if you get MVP or something like that. I know it didn't explicitly say it. A Spectre to Vibe is actually a game that explicitly said your maximum values for winning and losing. Like you're gonna gain between this much and this much SR, and the threshold is this much each time. I would like to see a lot more games kind of implement something like that because I feel that's always something that's very, very confusing. Because like when I played Halo, when Halo Infinite first came out, I could not for the life of me figure out what the distribution for points was. And I'm like, I don't understand why I'm getting these values for either winning or losing. It's like I don't know what determines that. It like, I was just seeing a progress bar go up and down. I'm like, I don't know what's happening there. So I would like to see a lot more games just flat out tell you, here's the points breakdown, or even just this is the max you'll get amount for winning, this is the max you could lose for losing. So
Yeah, and that's something CS:GO never had. CS:GO doesn't have uh win loss. It doesn't have a progress bar. It is just CS, at least CS:GO. I don't know about CS2,
yeah.
but CS:GO, it was literally just a mystery.
Hmm.
You could win 20 games in a row and not rank up.
That's yeah, I
You
don't
could lose 5 games in a row and D rank
yeah,
and never rank back up. So
yeah.
that's why everyone was like stuck in silver and silver as hell in
Hmm.
CS:GO.
Say I don't have the CS. I've thought about wanting to play CS, but then I'm like, I don't know if I want to subjugate myself to that torture because I'm not a
I think Valorant's probably more tortured now than
really,
CS.
yeah. I played a little bit of
Yeah.
Valorant. I'm gonna be honest. I was like Iron. I was like Iron.
Ouch.
To be,
Ouch.
that was very very early me getting into mouse and key, because
Oh, okay.
I'm a
Still,
I'm
ouch.
a controller player. I've played, COD. I'm diamond in COD. I could be higher. I just don't play. But like, I'm I'm getting better on mouse and key. If you guys tune into the Marvel Rivals streams, you'll see I'm usually pretty. I'm hitting my shots a lot more now. But
Because you have a pocket support.
I mean, yeah, but that's the point of a hero shooter. I have help from my teammates to enable me to do what I need to be able to
No,
do. So,
no, you have a pocket support.
all right, all right. Hey,
Your
I
boy
was
mains Luna Stone and just throws the snowflake your way and just sits back and does this. The
well. You
rest
know
of the
what?
game.
You're appreciated. Is that what you wanted to hear?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
you
Thanks. I'll
you
pat
want
myself
your
on the back for that one
you
too.
want your
Yeah,
pat on the
yeah.
back. Mike wants his
Yeah,
pat on the
thanks.
back for playing
Appreciate it.
support.
Thanks.
uh,
Yeah, but anyways, back since we're back on Rivals, I didn't talk about climbing out, and I put it in our notes right before we started. I didn't know if you saw it or
yeah, I
not,
think yeah.
but I got my first Smurfs in Marvel Rivals
Oh,
this
yeah,
week.
you were telling me about that. How did
Yeah,
that go?
I was in a 3-stack with some buddies, and a GM was in silver-ish rank
Ooh,
and was streaming
ooh,
and talking shit in chat.
ooh.
Yeah.
Mm,
So, and this is a thing that all games have,
yeah,
especially free-to-play games.
Yeah.
They're gonna have Smurfs because I
Mhm.
can just make 20 accounts.
yeah.
End of the day, but like, our Smurf, I have not Smurfed, but
I don't think
I
I'm
will
good enough to
preface this
Smurf.
by CS:GO. When I was like an early teenagers, tween, whatever you want to call it, I figured out how to get hacks of CS:GO
Oh
and
my
was
God.
shitting on kids and ranked up very fast that way.
Mike was cheating in CS:GO as a teenager.
Okay, I got banned. I got back banned. I had to
Okay,
make a new account.
that's fair.
I'm fine now.
Yeah.
I've grown. I've pushed that away. I've pushed that down.
Mike.
But anyways, do you think Smurfs are just intentionally throwing like placement games, or like just intentionally throwing every handful of games so they can be low ranks just to like shit on kids? Because that was the appeal of when I had the CS:GO hacks, was just like shitting on people and not like actually trying.
I don't know, and that's definitely that's a touchy subject, right? Because like you said, Smurfs are always going to exist, um, especially in free to play games. I think it depends too. Like, there are obviously, like, you ran into a Smurf that was doing it just to make himself look better. Um, I can see valid reasons for
Strike the ego.
wanting to Smurf. Like, I think like Tim the Tatman technically Smurfed, where because he got all the way to Celestial with a group of people like stacking, and then he wanted to do it solo queue. Wanted to prove that
Oh
he
yeah,
could
I
do it
saw
solo
that.
queue.
Yeah.
So he created an alternate account, and he technically did it solo queue, which I guess is, I don't know if it's technically. I mean, that is smurfing
It would be
essentially.
smurfing essentially, I think. But
But
I've also seen people like Valorant that they're like high ranked in Valorant, and then they'll make a secondary account and have people pay them to like carry them up the ranks too.
yeah, see, that's not that is wrong.
That I think is a big no-no.
That is a big no-no, because now essentially, I mean, it's the same as cheating. You're
Yeah.
you're instead of paying for wall hacks, you're paying for a high tier, ascendant immortal
To carry you.
to
Yeah.
carry you to a high rank that you're not, worthy of getting. So in that regard, yes, Smurfs are no. But I can see
And that's what Tim was saying. I saw the clip you're talking, or like saw like the
tweet.
the stream you were talking about, or tweet. He did his initial climb as a stack, so he was trying to prove to his chat that he can do it by himself.
Right.
Which, like, in the lower ranks, yeah, you're obviously smurfing because
Right.
you've played high ranks.
Right.
Tim's got like the background of like being almost a Overwatch pro.
Yeah.
Like hero shooters is his bread and butter.
Mm-hmm.
But then I feel like once you get like when's bannable diamond in Rivals?
Diamond use when you get hero
Yeah,
bans.
once you get to like diamond, I feel it's a
No
little
longer
less Smurfy
yeah.
because you're not just slamming bronze kids
Yeah.
into the ground.
Now
and,
you're like the game
solo
begins.
carrying a team.
Right.
Yeah,
Like the game, like okay, now you gotta like actually try
actually
and lock
talk
in.
to your team.
Right,
actually
right.
like have a semi good comp.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think in that regard, where it's like if you're trying to do a challenge, or it's like, hey, I climbed with this character. Now I want to see if I can do it with this character, and then this character, blah 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 blah. I think that's okay. Like if you're doing it for like the like a certain purpose of like I'm doing this for because I liked the grind and I just want to do it again with like a certain parameter. I think that's okay. But yeah, if you're just doing it to just
Yeah.
make yourself look
I
better,
saw someone on my
nah.
YouTube recommended recently came up. They were an Overwatch streamer and they were doing like a Nuzlocke in Overwatch basically. And they're a GM top 500 whatever it is in Overwatch. And every loss they lost a character.
Yeah.
Which in the other it's content and
Yeah.
they're still smurfing in those low ranks, but should there be a punishment for it? Because I don't want to play ranked and just get like my whole team is bad. But if it's like a 6v1 and the rest of their team is bad and he's just like he is the team,
Yeah.
I feel like that's the problem.
I just the only
it's just hard to catch that.
I don't know what you would technically do, right? Because technically it's not
hacks.
It's not hacks. You're not violating the game's like TOS. You're not breaking any rules. You're just kind of being a terrible person. But I don't even know. Like there's no way to technically detect that either. I guess.
They could because you can get IP banned from games.
I mean that's true, but then again,
or like servers. So if you have,
you're cheating.
If you get IP bans, they can see how many accounts play on that IP.
I mean, at that
like
point,
you could have people sharing a computer, but like end of the day, if I see someone's IP has 10 plus accounts, like there's something suspect going on.
I guess, but then in that case, you have to first assume that there's something suspect enough in order to investigate that IP in the first place.
And the game companies are not going to investigate it
for smurfing.
It's too much money for them to invest into that.
I think smurfing it could be used for good, could be used for bad. I think it's just one of those things where it's like comes down to the integrity of the community and the integrity of players. And unfortunately, I think it's going to be something that's always going to be there.
Gamers have no integrity.
No, they don't. Especially if you go over to COD, there's no integrity.
Rewind real quick back to what I just said about Modern Warfare 2 2022. Yeah. If there's something that can give me a competitive advantage, I will take it. But I also have never smurfed.
That's fair. Yeah,
But if there's like a broken gun, a broken attachment, I'm using it.
See, I'm the opposite way.
Fuck GAs. Fuck GAs. I'm not a pro. Why do I need to follow their GAs?
I'm the opposite only because I like to, I don't know, I just like the competitive, like, I don't know, play style. Like, I like to use whatever the pros are using. It's just something I always like to do, or I always love to play the game how it's, quote, supposed to be played. I think that comes from...
Quote, supposed to be played. Look at the past handful of CODs. It's been a 2-gun meta. It's not been fun. The pros.
I would say MW3 is pretty fun.
The pros don't ruin the game, but they ruin the game.
Part of that too comes from the developer side of stuff being busted. Like if smokes,
if
we could get a year where smokes weren't one way, which MW3,
we're just snipers. Bring back snipers.
We had
snipers.
We had snipers in Vanguard and MW2, but no smokes. Had smokes in MW3, but no snipers. And now we've got no smokes and no snipers in Black Ops 6.
I don't.
But I mean, that's
they just nerfed when this is being recorded. There's a bunch of Jackal
the Jackal
drama going on too.
the only barrel they can use now is the Gain Twist.
Yeah, the pros nerfed it, and then there's a sub alternative
The
that could
C9,
be used,
but
but
they GA'd it.
they GA'd it.
Yeah.
So now you're forced to use a weaker sub when
Yeah.
you could have just switched to the other sub.
That's that's almost
And that's why I don't like the pros.
That's
The
that
pros
that
ruined the
is
game.
a episode entirely of itself talking about GAs. But if you want to really look at the kind of three systems that we've really been talking about here, I mean the three big ones we've been talking about were Valorant, Marvel, and Black Ops 6 COD, because it's kind of a same one. But if we look at kind of Valorant here, and so Valorant, everyone kind of knows it, right? You've got Iron to Radiant. Each division has 3 tiers, 1 to 3, and then once you get to Radiant, it's just Radiant. There are the normal party restrictions. Where is it? I think they're up here. Where's party restrictions? No, that's right. Oh, it's down. It's down. Sorry, guys.
Players above Immortal 1 can only solo queue, do a queue.
Yeah. So,
players cannot queue in a party of 4, so it's 3 or 5.
3 to 4. So
is max queues.
Yeah. So, and 5 sec can contain any mix of ranks, but will receive SR penalties ranging from 25% to 90% for any players outside normal rank restrictions. So this is a pretty kind of, Valorant's kind of been praised for its good rank system. I like to see rank systems that only have 3 tiers. I prefer a 3-tier division as opposed to a 5-tier
10?
or in
10?
XDefiant's case 10-tier division. So this is pretty run-of-the-mill, cut and dry. There's not really much to be said about it because Valorant seemed to have figured out how to do ranks. They have placement matches, and then it's your standard SR win-loss, and then your penalties that are normal from there. So, I don't really think there's too much to say kind of about this system other than it is it knows what it wants to do. It does it well. It's well structured, and I don't think it's gone through any changes since it's launched. You could correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's still pretty much the same.
It's had a few minor tweaks, but it's been
drastic.
more so with how much you gain, how much you lose.
Okay. Yeah.
Rather than adding tiers, they added Immortal early on in competitive Valorant, but it nothing huge has changed.
Nothing giant.
That has been game breaking.
Right. So
there's been a few rank resets or oh no, they added what is it? They added Ascendant probably about 2 years ago now. So they had to adjust ranks there. But outside of that, that's I guess been the biggest controversy that I know of.
So yeah, nothing. Yeah, it's still it's kind of it sounds like there's really nothing to talk about, but that's kind of a good thing, right? When you have a rank system that's good, foundationally sound, and just kind of works, and you don't have to keep talking and complaining about it. I feel it's that's best case scenario.
Well, people still complain about Valorant because they get bad teammates and
but that's not.
But
that's not the system
that's not
itself.
Riot's fault. That's not Riot's
that's
fault.
Not the system is fine. Yeah. Versus XDefiant, the system was terrible, awful. Why would you think that 10? Okay, anyway, I'm an adult. I need to calm down.
Yeah, breathe.
But yeah, so in Valorant, even though I don't play it, I think I can play it. Every time I go back to I'm going to play in Valorant, I get immediately slammed. I go, okay, you know what? Back to COD. Back to a game that I can play. I praise Valorant, and it's a reason that it's one of the top competitive games on the market and one of the most watched esports in the modern day.
League.
Well, yeah, League, but Valorant in I'm talking in recent time. In recent time, Valorant,
League.
they're the same company.
Yeah, League's still a bigger esport.
Right. I'm saying it's one of the biggest.
Oh,
Yeah, not the biggest, one of the biggest. Like it's one of the, it's explosion into the esports world, and
I don't even know, is League still the biggest?
it's got to be.
I think it should is.
I think League, yeah, League is definitely still the biggest because I think they just had like the League Worlds.
Because Rocket League's probably climbing up there too.
Yeah, 'cause I think League of Legends had, it's like, didn't they have their championship recently, or are they starting up again? Oh,
Yeah, it's League and CS are the
Yeah.
1 and 2.
And then those have been around for years, so obviously they're established, but they're
Okay. Rocket League's in top 15.
Top 15.
Rivals is 12
Wow, that's crazy.
already.
Which
Yeah, and it
Rivals,
doesn't even have a like legit system
Yeah.
yet. It just has like
they
the
did
online
just announce
tournaments that they
the
do.
Marvel Rivals Invitational, if you saw that.
Yep.
Which
Mhm.
again, that's something we can definitely talk about on a different day. But I mean, speaking of Rivals, might as well talk about Rivals system. Rivals, obviously very, very new to the competitive scene, new game, and game that came out, and everyone thought the hero shooter genre was dead, seemingly revived it, and have been doing a amazing job of just building the popularity off of this game. Became the number one most played game on Steam with the launch of Season 1, and it's the game we've been streaming over the last 2 months for ranked. I mean, another system that's kind of really good here. Already making changes to it. We can see they added Celestial. Celestial is the most recent added rank. They added up at Season 1, but again, it's your standard bronze. 3 tiers. 3 tiers you rank up. Eternity and One Above All are their own ranks. I think Eternity is like your top 500, and then One Above All is the number one player. Another good solid rank system.
Which is interesting that they have a separate rank just for number 1.
Well, One Above All.
I've never seen that before. Yeah, I understand the rank, but normally you only see top 5. You don't see a separate rank just for number 1.
Call of Duty has the top 250 champion. They have the number. They give the number one player in the game at the end. I mean, that's more of a reward at the end of the season for, like, I think Colt Havoc got it last season. He has his own exclusive skin that says like Season 1 number one player, which is really cool to see. I like when games do that. I mean, I'll never hit it because I don't have the time and I'm not that good, but I like when games do that type of stuff. I think Marvel Rivals is another good, solid system. It's nice to see them making some tweaks.
I mean, yeah, I was going to say it needs tweaks because we touched earlier about like the whole like leaving teammates and stuff.
Definitely need to change that up, but they did make some changes too because the mid-season split is coming, and initially it was going to be that there was going to be some rank resets. They had planned to set you back 4. It's going to be 4 levels down, and then we were going to continue at the split until the next season, which was going to see a 6 rank reset with Season 2. They announced that, and then the very next day they said nope, never mind, because I think the community, I know I wasn't really happy about that.
Yeah, the community backlash, which I will applaud Marvel Rivals for.
Yeah.
They listen to their community
and fix it.
I know games that don't do that. Oh God. Dang, sorry, I had something in my throat there.
You sounded like me. I mean, I was curious if how did you feel when they were first announcing that there was going to be that 4 rank reset?
So I didn't even know about the reset until I think you told me. But by the time you told me, they had already the change. I had no recollection.
So I mean, my initial reaction was like, wow, really? Okay, not cool, guys, because that would have meant over the next month and a half, I'm gonna lose a total of 10 ranks, and Marvel's already kind of difficult enough to climb as it is. A lot of that being because of teammates, and it's just some days you're on, some days you're not. So it was really nice to see, like we said, a developer that kind of just listen to their fans at the gate and said, all right, you guys don't want this? All right, we'll adjust it. And I think they even adjusted as well the availability to get the Invisible Woman skin, because there's going to be a new skin at the split. I think they have now changed that to where you're going to be getting the Invisible Woman skin
Gold or
and
above.
the second skin that's coming up, which is going to be a Human Torch skin. So you're going to be able to get both now instead of just.
Oh, I haven't seen the Human Torch skin.
They haven't released it yet. They're just said it's
okay.
going to be a Human Torch skin. So, but that's something that also is cool to see, like, because rank rewards are awesome. We love rank rewards. Is it
I don't
gives you a
know.
reason to play. But
I don't know.
I think they're just kind of
I think rank rewards are cool.
testing stuff.
But then there's like times where like only the super high ranks get the cool stuff. So it's like I don't have the time nor the skill to grind that high. Nor do I know the people that can help me get that high. So I'm relying on randoms to climb from bronze all the way to celestial.
Yeah. But I mean,
that's not viable.
That's true. But I think with that you're only getting, like, once you get the Grandmaster, Celestial, and Eternity, you're getting a nameplate. Across the board, I like the, hey, as soon as you get the gold, you get the special skin, because I feel like gold is a very attainable.
Yeah.
Which is something that, because I agree. They are like I'll never get a top 250 skin in COD. I'll never. I mean, I'm close to getting the Crimson and Iridescent skins, but I probably won't, just because I don't think I'm gonna play. But I like what Marvel has done, where it's just one skin. You hit gold, you get it, and that's it. You can get your nameplates with those. Yes, I believe there should be some sort of like a bragging right type deal where it's like, hey, like,
yeah, sure.
like I reached Eternity.
I don't think it should be as big as a skin. I think it should be more like a nameplate or something that's like you can still flex on people, but like it's not like a now no one gets it.
Right.
It's super exclusive.
Right.
Because there's people that like will buy every skin in the game. They're like, so they're gonna miss out.
Yeah.
They're not gonna have their 100% Marvel rival skins.
Right.
Because they weren't able to get top 250.
Yeah. And that's what I like that this game is doing, where it's the same skin, no matter if you're gold or Eternity. It's the same skin. So
that was something XDefiant had. They had like a skin for gold and a skin for
one
of their higher ranks.
It was like your win rewards in COD, where it's like, at 10 wins you get like the weapon blueprint. They seem to tie that to the rank progression, which was like, why I didn't like that, because there was a really cool MP7 skin that came out in season 1 that I'm like, well, I'm not hitting that because that's top 500, or it's like that was the top rank, and I'm like, dang, because I use the MP7 a lot, and it's like I'm not gonna be able to get that, so that stinks. So I don't like it when games do that, where it's an exclusive. I mean, that was, again,
it can be exclusive, but it needs to be not top 250 exclusive.
Right. Which, I mean, XDefiant's whole system and
like,
what went wrong can be a whole
Marvel Rivals they're doing the nameplate Grandmasters and up. I feel like that's fair.
I think it's very, very fair. I think it's very fair. And I think Valorant does the same thing, where it's just a nameplate. Once you hit Ascendant, you get a nameplate that says Ascendant or Radiant, right? Radiant's the top one? Yeah, Radiant. Yeah. Radiant, like Radiant confirmed or something like that. Because you can look at like the calling card.
You also get gun buddies too at the end of the season.
But those are nice. I agree with those. And like the small little charms of like, I placed here, so I got this little charm that's this color. I think Halo did it as well.
Doodads compared to look, skins. I have this full suit of whatever. Yeah. It's I have this little trinket on my gun that like you can still pick up my gun and still look at and see that.
Yeah, because Halo does the whole wherever you place at the end of that season, you get like an armor sticker to put on your armor that's of the color of what you got. So that's cool. But yeah, Marvel kind of seemingly kind of good right now. And I love the little quality of life feature that Marvel has on their progress bar for ranks, where it's like if you're under that little section, it's like, hey, if you're under this and you lose, you're probably gonna D rank. That's more of like a nice little visual thing that I like. because then you can kind of just track and stay up on your like, okay, hey, I need to win this game. So again, another good solid rank system that I think both agree kind of needs some tweaks. I mean, I don't.
Yeah.
I think you.
And no rank system's perfect.
No,
Even Valorant, like, yeah, we can praise Valorant all day. It's not perfect.
no, but it's as good as it could be. Getting to the next one, Black Ops 6. It's Black Ops 6 has had some changes to its rank system compared to MW3. Um, a lot of them good in theory, poor execution. The biggest one that I think was terribly executed was the map veto system. So in now you haven't had experience with this in prior games.
No.
When you would queue, it would just roll the map in mode, and you would play whatever map mode was rolled. That was it. Well, when they announced that there was going to be a map veto system for this game, I was like, "Oh, that's cool. That's really exciting." So they put up 3 maps. They can be varying maps and modes. They can actually be the same map but all 3 modes, or they can be the same mode, 3 different maps. Um, and how you would think it would work would be players veto 2 maps and you play on the third. That's how I thought it was. So when first came out, be like, okay, red card and protocol are up for hardpoint, and like vault's the third choice. I don't want to play red card or protocol. Oh, somebody already vetoed red card. I'll put my veto on a protocol, and hopefully we'll play the third map vault. I guess that's not how it works. It seems that players only veto 1 map, and it just rolls from the other 2. Which at that point, what's the point?
Yeah.
um, so I was like, well, that's terrible. COD also did remove the SR loss for a teammate leaving. They removed that and replaced that with the whole every 24 hours your first SR loss is protected. Not cool, but I don't know why we had to remove that. They did add a surrender feature. So like there's like a certain amount of time if somebody leaves you can surrender, and that you don't lose SR for. I guess. But
For surrendering?
yeah, but you can only surrender if someone leaves.
Oh, okay.
So if someone leaves, you can surrender, which wasn't working until season 2, by the way. Feature they said was going to launch didn't come until season 2. But yeah, so I mean, if we look at it, COD, get your skill divisions, bronze through iridescent, again 3 tiers, and then you get your top 250. Iridescent only has 1 tier until you hit top 250. So all 3 ranking systems kind of similar, in that they are 3-tiered with a kind of singular tier at the end and a top. Well, Valorant doesn't have like a top 500, I don't think, but COD has the top 250, and Marvel Rivals has the
Valorant does, but it's not called top 250.
Why goes
Their Radiant is their top 250, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me double check though.
That Radiant was just like their iridescent with COD, or like their Celestial.
Yeah, you can be, call it Immortal 2, and be technically in the top 250 would make you Radiant.
Okay. All right. So in that game, technically Immortal's all right.
So Immortal is the highest rank technically, but Radiant would be top 250.
Okay.
If I remember, that's how it works. But let me double check.
COD also did introduce some new features when it came to seasonal setbacks. Bronze and silver players are not impacted by seasonal setback, and then gold to platinum will start in tier 1 of whatever rank they were in. So if you were platinum 1, platinum 3, you'd go to plat 1, gold 3, gold 1. And then if you're diamond and above, every seasonal reset you start in diamond. So I hit diamond pretty early on in ranked season 1. If I just never play COD again, I will be diamond for the rest of the game's life cycle. I won't continue to go down.
But will you continue to play?
But I mean, how do you feel about that? I mean,
I feel like that's a good system. I feel like once you get to a certain point, you should be maybe not locked to that system for the rest of time, but at least locked for the next season.
I guess. I like the
Because
idea.
if you don't play at all next season,
Yeah.
why should you keep your diamond rank?
Right. So it's like
There should be some type of, maybe not where is the right word, but there should be some type of like, if you don't play, because I know like once you get like obviously top 250, if you don't play for a few days,
you get knocked
people
out.
are obviously going to take your rank.
Right.
So there's got to be some type of trade off. Like, yeah, it's nice to guarantee starting a certain rank,
Yeah.
which I love. Then I don't have to climb through everybody again.
Yeah, I
to
agree
get back
with
to
that.
where I was. But like, end of the day, like if I skip a season or I
Then you
like,
should go down.
yeah, you should go back down to like bottom of the tier, bottom of the barrel, basically.
You're saying like all the way down.
Yeah,
I would
you
say
didn't
like
play. You didn't play.
I would say maybe put me in plat or gold or like maybe have me go down the line as long as I never. I mean, I guess to be fair though, if I don't ever play again, is it gonna? Am I really gonna care? Probably
Exactly.
not. Right. So
Because CS:GO they had that thing too. If I don't know the exact timeline it is, but I bet you if I boot up CS:GO, my rank's diminished.
probably.
Because you'll be a certain rank after a certain amount of time. It'll be like, hey, you haven't played in a while. Do 1 or 2 games of like a replacement, and it'll put you somewhere near where you were. Put you where you were generally.
I mean that actually I like that too. Like almost like a replacement type match where it's like, hey, you haven't played in a minute. You need to either replace
Play 1 game, play
Yeah.
3 games, something
Yeah.
small,
and the game
and
can
then you'll
evaluate
get your
you.
rank back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a good system that a lot of systems games could implement. But also at the same time too, sometimes I feel like if those players aren't playing, having a system like that's like it's not gonna matter because they're just not gonna come back and play. But
Yeah.
I mean, for the players that are dedicated and maybe just haven't had time to play, it could be good. But I mean, COD system for what it is for COD, it is okay. It's okay. It's not the best system they've had. It's not the worst system they've had. Um, it's just okay. I think compared to other games ranking systems, um, there are games that do it way better. Obviously, Marvel, Valorant, I mean even CS. There are games that have just and I mean CS and Valorant a little bit. Well, CS is more seasoned than Valorant. Valorant's fairly new, but it does kind of always when you look at systems like COD or even X Defiant that have really, really like not great rank systems, um, compare them to games that are coming out and that debut with good systems, it's like, man, what are you doing? Because it's possible. You just chose not to do it. So, but I mean, I think all around, we get some pretty solid rank systems with games these days. Pretty solid rank systems that can provide a pretty good.
Obviously, like we were saying, there's tweaks that can be done always, but like there's nothing perfect.
But yeah, I think that's a pretty good. I think it's a good kind of summarized way to wrap everything up here. We love ranked systems. We love ranked games. We're never gonna stop playing ranked games. I don't think I'll ever stop playing competitive games.
Maybe when I'm an old fart,
I
will.
No, I'll be still getting on and trying to fight my way through bronze and gold when I'm like 40.
Yeah, I feel like I can't be like, oh, back in my day,
Yeah.
I was a top 250 player in Marvel Rivals, and now I'm a bronze player. Yeah, no, can't do that.
Extreme carpal
The
tunnel
fall off would be too drastic for me. It would hurt my ego.
You'll have to know when to hang it up, right?
Yeah. You got to hang it up sometimes. You just got to know when.
But all right, that is going to be it from us. We are glad to have been back. Obviously, episodes coming weekly. We are streaming over on Twitch every. Mike's not there on Wednesdays, but Monday through Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern to noon Eastern, we're streaming. We're playing Marvel Rivals. There's a couple games coming out here in the near future that we'll probably be hitting up.
Is
Fragpunk
there?
being one of them. Fragpunk.
Oh yeah.
Fragpunk,
We did talk about that. Yep.
That'll be a fun one. But yeah, come to streams, come ask questions, tell us what you like, didn't like. Yeah, and Mike did say last episode that you can come slander Advanced Warfare at me
Oh yeah,
because I
yeah.
said I like that game.
I was
did
gonna
like
leave
that
that
game.
one to that last episode. But
Oh, I'm
if
gonna
you
keep
bring it back up, bring
poking
it back
fun.
up.
But yeah, go follow. I mean, follow here. You can follow me on TikTok. I'll have everything linked below. Come to the streams. It'll be a fun time. I promise to try not to crash out anymore. But that has been the latest episode of One Shot. I've been CM Boom. He's Mike Shaky. We will see you guys next time. Peace out.